the deep abyss of the dark and terrifying ocean, there is one creature that freaks the fuck out of me more than any other. And that, my friends, is the great white shark. They are the ultimate apex predator of the ocean. Now, I touched on them before in my video that I did about the ocean, which you can find up here. But this time I wanted to take a deeper dive, motherfucking pun intended, into the world of these evil bastards. But first, some facts. The great white is a species of a large mackerel shark which can be found in the coastal surface waters of all major oceans. These are large motherfuckers. In fact, the largest on record is a female that measured over 19.1 feet and 2,000 kilograms in weight. What the fuck? That being said, most are generally smaller than that, the males measuring between 3 to 4 meters, which is 11 to 13 feet, and females measuring between 4.6 to 4.9 meters, which is 15 to 16 feet. Now, it was only discovered in 2014 that great white sharks can actually live up to 70 years of age. They can also swim at speeds of up to 25 kilometers per hour, which is 16 miles per hour, and reach depths of 1,200 meters or 3,900 feet. Now, socially, they tend to be very solitary creatures, but they do actually have a hierarchy when they are together, and unlike in today's world, females are the dominant ones in this hierarchy. There are also other variations depending on the territory and the size. Because females are generally bigger in this particular species of shark, they tend to be more dominant. Now, the reproduction in terms of the mating can involve complex rituals where males compete for the attention of females, just like with any other species. Now, once they've mated, the females undergo a gestation period of about 11 months before giving birth. The great whites have large conical snouts and a torpedo-shaped body with a streamlined design, which allows them to move efficiently through the water. Their body shape also helps them to reduce water resistance as they swim. Now, typically they have a grey to brownish grey colour on their upper body, which helps them blend into the ocean when viewed from above. The belly is white, which provides camouflage for if it is seen from below. That counter shading is pretty effective at confusing prey into thinking that there's nothing there. Now, terrifyingly enough, great white sharks have rows of serrated triangular teeth. They can have several rows of teeth, with the front row being the most functional. These teeth are perfectly adapted for grabbing, cutting, holding onto prey. They continually shed and replace their teeth throughout their lives, and it's fucking terrifying. Their eyes are typically black and possess a reflective layer beyond the retina called the tapetum lucidum, which enhances their night vision, which is better for low light hunting. But to me, they kind of give a vibe of I'm dead inside and I'll eat your whole family in front of you. Now, when it comes to hunting, the great white shark are formidable hunters. They exhibit stalking behavior when hunting their prey, often approaching from the depths below and attacking with a sudden burst of speed, which is also known as lurking. They are known for their ambush hunting techniques, particularly when they're targeting seals and sea lions near the surface. Now, one thing that great white sharks love to do, as majestic and terrifying as it is to see, is they do a thing called breaching, which is when they breach the surface of the water. Literally their whole body goes out of the water to catch the prey, and the idea is when they breach the surface, it helps the shark surprise the prey and immobilize it at the same time. It was generally believed as well that great white sharks only hunt at dusk or at dawn, but a recent study done in South Africa found when they put cameras on the dorsal fins of some sharks that they actually were hunting seals throughout the day as well as the evening and the morning. So basically they're hunting all the time. They also have a very acute sense of smell and can sense blood for several miles underwater. Now, generally speaking, they tend to hunt seals, sea lions, tuna, rays, other sharks, dolphins and whales, as well as sea otters and even seabirds. Now, it is both impressive and terrifying watching these predators hunt with such skill and brutality, and it's one of the reasons why I don't like to go into the fucking ocean, and why I would shit myself if I came within 10 feet of one, or even if I saw one from a boat, I'd still fucking shit myself. The way they lurk through that grey murky water, it's like something out of a nightmare, and those eyes will just haunt your dreams. Now, I can't help but feel bad for some of the prey that sharks go after, in particular seals. Now, we all know seals look like cute, cuddly. They kind of remind me of puppies, you know? They don't have a whole lot going for them in terms of attacking. They're not predators themselves. They're purely prey, kind of like rabbits, you know? And if you look at this video here, unfortunately this one little guy gets stuck and is separated from the other seals, and then he is hunted down by this shark. Now, as you can see, initially the seals can actually are quite good at maneuvering and kind of keeping good distance from sharks, but they don't get away with this forever. And if you watch this here, you'll see, holy fuck, look at that. That is ruthless and fucking terrifying. Like, look at the way it jumped out of the water there. Holy fucking shit. Now, the only kind of silver lining for that poor seal is that it had kind of a quick death. Sharks are quite good at killing things. They're not like bears where they eat you alive. Like, a shark is very efficient at killing you before it eats you because of the bite force. It has a bite force of 18 tons per square inch. So if it bites into you, the chance of you actually surviving that is very slim, I would imagine, especially if you're a little seal. Now, you might think to yourself, the seals don't have a hope. But there is one thing that seals do, especially if there's a group of them near a certain area and they need to get into the water and can't because there's a shark. What they do is, and it's very ballsy, I have to say, is if you watch here, you'll see they jump into the water in a group and they will harass the shit out of the shark and just bombard them. They can't actually cause them any real harm, but the hope is that the shark will just get frustrated or get annoyed or agitated and will just leave. And luckily for them in this case, the shark does go away. Now, I think when it comes to the ocean and how terrifying it is, one of the things we all kind of think about, especially when it comes to sharks, is the movie Jaws. Now, I'm sure the majority of people watching this video have seen Jaws, which is a Spielberg movie that depicts sharks as human hunting, killing machines. I know watching the movie for the first time when I was younger made me never want to go into the ocean, made me think that sharks were purely out to get me, and the thought of being eaten alive by a shark was absolutely terrifying, as it is to this day. But to be fair, shark attacks are rare. Now, great white shark attacks in particular are the most likely to happen out of all the other species of shark. But to put your mind at ease, there's only ever been a recorded 326 attacks on human with 52 fatalities. And that's ever since they start recording this thing over the centuries in history. For sharks, people are not the preferred prey. Like, sharks are fairly picky eaters and they thankfully don't tend to want to eat humans. Now, the one thing that they do sometimes, which is what happens to a lot of people, is sharks like to do what's called an exploratory bite to see what you are. And generally, when it does this exploratory bite, it kind of goes, yeah, and it fucks off. But that being said, that does not give me a sense of any comfort at all, because if that thing bites you, you're more than likely going to have like half your muscle gone, your head might be gone, your arm might be floating and you'll bleed out. So you might necessarily die from the shark itself, but you'll certainly fucking die from the blood loss. Can you imagine the pain of those? Imagine those soulless black eyes staring you down as it chomps down on you, and its whole mouth just like everything just goes dark as the mouth covers over your body. Fucking terrifying. Yeah, so I want to personally thank Steven Spielberg for producing a movie that brought a whole lot of fear. Now, to be fair, if you looked at the news in the last few years, there has been various attacks, especially in Australia, in a lot of surfing areas in Australia. Also, not too long ago, in which I showed before, was a man in India, I believe it was killed by a shark while out swimming. So that being said, if you do come into contact with a shark, the best thing you can do in those situations is aim for the eyes and make sure you are in front of the shark. Shark are ambush predators, so if the shark comes from behind, it's more likely to attack. So if you can kind of keep in its eye line, it's less likely to attack you. And after that, just pray to whatever God you believe in and ask God why he would create such a thing. Again, for me, proving that there can't be a God. Why would he create sharks? Why? What is the purpose? What is the point of them? They are terrifying. Why, the only reason they exist is over millions of years of evolution to become the ultimate predator of the ocean, and it's goddamn incredible. You can't help but feel a sense of awe. There's something about them that you can't help but feel impressed by them, like the way they hunt, the efficiency of them, the brutality of it. But the good thing is, if you do get attacked by a shark, and it does decide to kill you, if it helps you feel any better, you'll die quickly. And it's an interesting story for everyone to hear, even if you're not here for it. Just like the bears in the woods, the best way to avoid these things is just don't go into the ocean. There's no need to. Just don't go in there. Why? Why do people decide to do this shit? Don't go in where they are. If you go into a territory where there are sharks and you get eaten by a shark, it's your own fault. You're not waking up in your bed and they're just there chomping away at your leg. You know what I mean? You're going into their land. But yeah, that's kind of it. I just wanted to give a kind of short kind of thing about sharks. They are terrifying. And watching all these shark videos freak me the fuck out. But that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, thanks so much for sharing, liking and subscribing. Always very much appreciated. Yeah, until the next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.